So recently I uploaded a closet decluttering video and I thought I would just keep rolling with this cleaning binge I'm on. Next I'm going to tackle this mountain of beauty products. And while decluttering, I thought it would be fun to take a thoughtful look at consumerism. I have a background in social work, and I have studied topics like the impacts of consumerism and social media on human behavior, and I think this pile is a perfect example of that, as it gives me a lot of thoughts and feelings. So, let's begin. Basically, the stuff I don't have room for in my bathroom gets put in the closet, and then I forget about it. So it's time to go through all this and decide what needs to be trashed or used. I like to tell myself that I don't overshop, but I think this pile begs to differ, and there's a lot of reasons why people do overshop and buy things they don't need. Speaking for myself, I convince myself I need it, buy it, and then I either use it, don't like it, or forget about it. And this is a big pile of forget about it. Also, I shop or at least browse when I'm bored. I definitely fall into the boredom category. So why do people overshop? There's actually a lot of reasons, so many in fact that I won't cover them all here, but one that might seem simple is the desire for material objects. This desire isn't bad, it's not wrong to want things, but there's healthy boundaries and anything in excess can be potentially dangerous or damaging. Like if someone is choosing between rent and a new pair of shoes or a fancy bag or whatever, then maybe their priorities are off balance, but we are conditioned by media to want nice things or to have trendy things, and I think that is a major part of the problem. People shouldn't be putting others down for not having certain things or a certain lifestyle. This is all free samples of Bath & Body products. Even the watermelon soap was a free item from an order. Which reminds me of another reason people overshop, because some people put their self-worth in material items and some people buy to impress others. This is not me at all. I buy what I like and I don't care if people don't like my clothes or my style because I want to wear what makes me comfortable. I'm definitely the type of person that believes self-worth should be based in other things like how we treat others, what skills we have, what we contribute to society, and things like that. But there will always be favoritism towards attractiveness. So people want to be beautiful and have beautiful things, but that's a whole other discussion. This is a junky toothbrush I got that I don't like. I can't do anything with it. I can't give it away, so it's just gotta go in the trash. Look at the bristles. Though this does tie into status and wealth, some people want to boost their ego, they want to show off their success or appear to be successful, they want to have certain brands to show their status. And then this brings up issues of classism, and there's plenty of people that actually think they are superior because they have more money. This is where things become more inconceivable for me, like spending $15,000 on a handbag. I just can't wrap my mind around that. I'm not here to tell people how to spend their money. As a social worker, though, I'm like, that's the poverty line. Do you know how much good could be done with that kind of money? I try not to be judgmental. I certainly spend money on things I don't need, and if buying that bag brings you joy, then that's great. Just try to do good with your money, your time, and your words, because many people struggle and suffer every day just to pay rent and feed themselves. Okay, done with my speech. I'm going to divide all this up into groups, so I'll put skincare together and hair products together, and so on. Okay, I thought of another reason people shop. Some people shop to recover from loss, which is something I've never experienced, but I imagine it's like retail therapy, which I have done. I have had days that just were awful, and shopping does give you a chance to forget about the world and focus on something else. It's almost like mindful meditation, for me at least. So this is where window shopping becomes handy if you do this a lot and have issues with money. You can do this online too. If I'm trying to save money and cut back on spending, but find myself wanting to buy, I'll just leave things in the cart for a few days and then come back later to decide if I still want it. Most of the time, I don't. So all of this is $1 makeup I got just to try, which is a perfect example of buying things you don't need and wasteful products. It's not the best quality, of course, but the bag's cute. I definitely see a norm of buying things to feel satisfied or to fill an emptiness. From what I know, buying things for satisfaction is like trying to fill a void, and it doesn't work. Because the void is like a black hole and it can never be fully filled, so we just keep buying, then binge clean to get rid of clutter, then buy again, and on the cycle goes. I think we can see this a lot with places like Wish and Shein, which are businesses that strongly contribute to the fast consumerism norm where people can buy a bunch of cheap junk for low prices, and sadly, the stuff is so low quality that most of it will end up in the trash, which is just so wasteful and bad for the environment. I understand the urge to shop at places like this. They do provide affordable items, and I think that goes back to want versus need, and I encourage people to stay away in terms of frivolous buying because a lot of it is a ripoff and strongly contributes to waste around the world, like with plastic bags, for example. I'm sorry if this sounds like I'm just complaining. I don't mean for it to come off like that, though. I do think over-consumerism is a major problem and is something we should talk about. And I hope seeing all my clutter helps show exactly why it is a problem. So I've divided everything up. This is skincare, makeup and perfume, more skincare, hair products in this pile, and then the $1 makeup is in here. Speaking from what I know as an American, consumerism is such a part of our society. Multi-million and billion-dollar corporations constantly push ads to literally manipulate people. On average, we see thousands of ads a day, and these ads try to convince us that life will be better with their product. I remember back when I was in community college, I read something about how corporations will hire child psychologists to figure out how to manipulate young people through commercials, which is such disgusting behavior and very unethical from a practitioner standpoint. But this is what corporations in social media do to us, especially with collaborations and limited edition items. My goodness, the things I've bought and then never used. Sailor Moon collections and Bratz makeup that was dirty and gave me a rash. It all convinces us that if we don't buy this now, then we'll be missing out on something or regret not buying it later. I'm not saying we should stop buying these things. Again, if it makes you happy, then buy what makes you happy. If you're trying to cut back on spending, then it helps to reflect on whether you need it or will use it, or whether you have something similar, and so on. So why do we have such an urge to buy stuff? Who are we trying to impress? And why is self-worth built around materialism and looks rather than knowledge or worldly experience? Just remember, your worth is far beyond the things you buy and the brands you wear, and everyone has something to offer this world. I might have felt good buying this stuff, but now I feel awful seeing it all unused and expired and realizing I basically threw my money down the drain. We are absolutely allowed to enjoy these things, though it's worth repeating want versus need. And I feel most of the time we want a lot of things and then end up with a bunch of stuff we don't need. And then we have piles like this, which in my opinion is wasteful, and I try my best not to be wasteful, which is why I'm only throwing things out that are expired, and I do plan on at least trying all of these other items. Okay, so now I have gone through everything, and I just need to find a place for all of this so I can use it up. Thanks for watching and listening to my thoughts about shopping. I hope we all can do a little better to be less wasteful. Let me know what you think about this topic and why you overshop. So that's it. See you later.